Hi, everyone. I don't understand. It's so funny.
Hi guys, welcome to your online group chat.
Welcome to the chat. What are we trying to figure out this week?
Oh, so I'm trying to figure out just having a routine with the kids. I feel like it has gone ablaze.
Up in the clouds.
Yeah,
Everybody's winging
it.
it.
It is. We've been winging it. I feel like we've been winging it a lot more recently. And I need to tighten things up. Yeah, that's literally what I've been trying to figure out. And when I say spiritual routine, it's not. I don't even
Going
necessarily mean not even going to the meetings or the normal stuff. Not preaching, not that. I just mean things like even like our nighttime routine. What we do in terms of
before bedtime.
Yeah, before bedtime, we read the book that we're doing for the book study.
So do you actually have a spiritual routine now?
Yeah, so I think our spiritual routine, my perception of what it is there is that every night we study, because the book is really, it's actually quite good for their age.
You think? The book study book?
Yeah, they're 5.
To be fair.
5 and 3. It's not very pictory, to be fair.
It's not very
there's lots of text. Lots of text. So I would like to, before I read it to them, I read it so that I actually understand what's happening. And so there's some gems in there because I read it, I'm like, oh! So I read it to myself and then I try to find a way to summarize or funkify or make it, or just downtone it into their language. So that's
every night.
Yeah. So I said,
wait, is it every night there? Let's be real.
Why you gotta call me out? Every night. See, before the plan was let's do every night, and I was like, let's not even. We don't have to do the whole, like, because we know you do exactly, because there's 2 chapters per week. Yeah. I said let's not even do the one chapter every night, one chapter and then one chapter. I said let's break it down, and so long as we've covered 2 chapters by the next week, we're okay.
No, but the difficult thing is they also want to read something else, because they're never satisfied with just reading like the lessons from.
In fact, they don't want to read that one.
They don't actually want to read it.
They don't want to read that one.
You have to incentivize them. Yeah. Let's read the other book, then we're going to go back to this.
They will read the Bible story book. But even that is a struggle, because like their bedtime is it's
not like this is at 8 p.m. when we pick up the book. When they need to go to sleep at this point.
Bro,
so
it's not when they need to go to sleep. I need to wrap this up. I need to retire.
Yeah, you're tired.
2 out of 3 kids, like now. As I said, they don't always want to do the Bible story book first. So it's like, okay, let's just to make them happy, let's do the other book.
Something else.
And then, because we're trying to read to 4 of them. So, okay, Money pick a book. Money got to pick one book. Why can't I pick a book ahead? So Mary has to pick. Ara has to pick.
Yeah, no, it's not. The spiritual routine is trying to read to them every night on the book that we do at the book study.
Saying a prayer.
And then saying a prayer, yeah, that's a good one.
Well, prayer is, because you know prayer is not one person says.
So they all have to say a prayer.
They all say one.
You're talking about spiritual activity outside of the norm, but I actually think the norm makes a difference, because them knowing that we're going to the meetings every Thursday, we're going to the meetings on Sunday, we go out on a ministry on Saturday. That is enough of a routine, because they would be asking us, are we going to the Kingdom Hall? Going to the Kingdom Hall? I think that is already sort of something that they're used to and they know. Yeah. So that's the routine I'm happy with. Yeah. I feel like everything else is add-on. Outside of those, the meeting times, meeting days, and ministry, everything else is me just trying to incorporate into them just the importance of remembering, okay, we always want to talk to Jehovah in prayer. Whenever you're scared, talk to Jehovah, ask Jehovah for help when you're in school. They come back and, something happens, or they say something and you're like, well, did you say a quick prayer to Jehovah? Did you tell Jehovah, please help me? Things like that. Now, that's not necessarily a routine, because we don't do it every day. I don't do it all the time with them. Yeah. But is that the point, though? Because I feel like the meetings and ministry, I feel like we've got that down. So it's like, is that enough?
And do we need to do more
more consistently?
Yes.
Sort of defined things and activities.
Yeah, that just makes it more real to them. So it's not like, oh, this 2 hours is our spiritual time, and once we come back from the meeting, it's now finished. So like more day-to-day things. As you said, even with our prayers, just making sure, because the things that they pray about are actually quite cute. It's actually really nice. They talk about things that are like genuine from the heart. They'll pray for snacks. They'll pray for like toys or soft play. Things that are important to them. These are deep things of the heart.
And they're saying it like
honestly. So I feel like that is good for them to know that they can talk to Jehovah about anything. The one thing I would say I would like to incorporate is along the same lines of prayer, but praying before meals.
Hard. Very
praying
hard.
Before meals.
I mean, getting them to sit down.
Is
already hard. That's already a battle. So, but that would imply that we need to get them to sit down at the same time.
Yes.
Because
okay, pray before one meal. Let's start with
pick one. Breakfast or dinner.
Honestly, which one would be more consistent?
The easiest.
I feel like dinner will probably be the easiest one to do. Breakfast is too much of a rush. We're trying to get out of the door.
That is true.
Like there's too many factors. Oats are flying everywhere.
Yeah.
There's Weetabix or somebody's
brushing
head.
teeth.
It's too much.
It's
too much. But dinner is a little bit more relaxed, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
To be fair.
But I also feel like because there's so many children. My only struggle is, sometimes when they come back and one is hungry.
Yeah.
One person just is hungry. And you know that like literally the moment they will smell food, it's gone. It's gone. So I feel like
before you get to even sit and not to prayer.
One person has finished.
That is true.
One person has finished the meal.
But I think it's something that we can actually just start and try.
Should we maybe like school journeys? Things like school journeys and stuff that we know are definitely going to happen.
That is true.
And we're not as tired. Why don't we do it there?
What, as in prayer? Or
not
just
like reading, but not necessarily
reading.
But like.
So what I do with the girls when we're going to the meeting, I play like one of the songs for them. I would play like Esther, or because she loves Esther. Esther had courage. She loves that one. Or I'd play the 12 Apostles, the songs that they love.
Like.
Again, I don't do that all the time because sometimes I'm just trying to get to the meeting because we're most likely late anyway. So let's just get there. My mind isn't thinking about what song to play.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea. We can do not necessarily reading, but just playing
something. Maybe we can be playing something. Or even just, when we're asking them about their day, like incorporating, challenges that they face, just seeing how they could have tackled it in a more spiritual manner.
Right? I feel like
someone took your toy or turn the other cheek.
I think we can agree on the fact that there's core spiritual activities, and then there's the other things that we can do to kind of build up on that. But we did ask a couple of other mums as well. Jen, I asked her, she has 3 kids and her youngest is 8 and her oldest is 20. So there's quite a big age gap. But she did say that she started from very young and she would read the Bible stories book or the Bible lessons book, which I think is a really picturesque one. But her biggest challenge was always just the consistency, because most of the time she's tired. Now, I think people just associate spiritual routine with nighttime, which is what I think might be the issue, because obviously at night you're tired, you don't really have energy.
Yeah.
The other thing was, she said, because their attention span is so little, it's how do I engage them for 30 minutes? So she always tried to keep it very short. Yeah. Up to 30 minutes.
30 minutes is a lot.
It's a long time. I definitely can't engage my kids for 30
minutes is a long time.
I can't engage them for 30 minutes. But at least she set a timer. And I think for her, it was just a they're not going to listen for longer. I know my kids are not going to listen for more than 10 minutes.
Even 5.
Yeah. And then she said that they try and do lots of role play. So with the Bible reading during the week, how to make that exciting. So she said they would act out some of the characters. But that was interesting, and I thought would be really good to do. Just something that gets it a bit more exciting, for them. Yeah. Because Bible reading, sometimes you're just like,
it can be dull.
Yeah, it can be very dull. And trying to engage them with something that has
can be dull for kids.
Yeah, definitely not.
Not adults.
How do you engage them in something that is just that wouldn't necessarily be exciting?
Yeah, it makes it more exciting. I like that, but that takes a very. I feel like that takes a creative. Yeah. No, just a creative parent. Are you a creative parent?
Nope.
No, bro. Because
we can do reading. I can read it in a different voice for you. That was
because some people they even do
acting out.
Yeah, like they would get the costumes and it's like let's do our hair, let's get props, let's do they really take it there, and that is amazing. Fantastic. I think that's phenomenal.
I would love to be able to do that. I actually would love to be able to do that.
No, I can't do it. I actually know another sister who did the exact same thing with her. It's similar. Her daughter is 12 and she just got baptized a year ago. And I was like, sis, how do you do
she
it?
Does role playing.
So she said that her and her husband, they're both not creative at all. They're very just read your book and be done. But their daughter is very creative. She loves to draw. So she said that they realized that quickly and that they had to incorporate drawing in their family worship. So it's either she's drawing characters or she's drawing different scenarios or stories. And she was like, that has made a ton of difference. And she said even though she doesn't have a creative bone in her, that she had to force herself to do it. I said, that's true love. That is real love. A star plus. Because
I truly admire people who can do that. That's really. And maybe we just have to put. We've never actually just. No, we have tried. It's just ended up. We print out all those from the principles from the website. Yeah. We print those out. We tell them to color it.
Yeah.
We do some of those activities.
What? She did not print nothing. They started it from scratch. They started it from scratch.
Somewhere. There's no way we can afford. There's no way we can stop.
The thing is, exactly. The oldest are 5. They don't know we don't know whether they're creative. They might not be creative. So therefore, we have to wait. Let's just wait and see.
I see.
They might not be creative. They might be okay with reading. That's fine. That's fine. They might be okay with reading. So let's just carry on with what we're doing for now. Okay. So, Chris, he has 4 kids. He has a 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. He says routine. Wednesday evening is family worship. We spend an hour together, and it could be anything from watching the broadcast to one of the movies from JW Broadcast to playing games with a spiritual twist to it. Struggle with consistency is 100%.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, as in he's just saying that 100% they struggle with consistency. Life with kids is always fluid, so oftentimes something comes up. We just adjust and keep going. If we miss a week, and he puts in brackets, rarely happens, but it happens, which means it doesn't. It is good. It's already good. We try to make it up later in the week, and if that's not possible, we just pick it up the following week. Yeah, for him, it sounds like their spiritual routine, family worship. Everybody knows what's happening on Wednesday nights. They get the things together, and they keep it consistent, and it's good. I like that they chose Wednesday because if it doesn't happen, they have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to try and make it up. Our family worship is Saturday. If it does not work on Saturday, we have Sunday. That's it.
He didn't even mention. I mean, no one mentioned the midweek and attending meetings. That's a baseline. Clearly,
that's a given.
What do we do on top of that? But it's actually it's heartwarming to just hear that consistency is just
struggle.
It's a struggle for everyone.
Universally.
It is hard, but you have it in the first place, and honestly, that's 50%.
That's it. You're 50%
done. You have like the actual plan, and I think that's a really good start.
Yeah. So to anybody who hasn't started, just pick a day.
Yeah.
Just go out and just pick a day and just start. And start small. Don't start with, because I think another thing is the expectation we have. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. They're going to sit down for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and we're going to do something solid every single week.
And they're going to learn something. One thing I also struggle with is, we go through something and I would tell them something. Oh, Noah did this. And then you ask them 2 seconds later and they're looking at you.
It's gone.
And my frustration levels just is gone. I'm like, no, hold on. I just told you. What are we doing here? So I feel like as an adult or as a parent, I need to hone in a little bit, because I always feel like you need to learn something at the end of the session. I'm not spending 30 minutes here with you just singing. No.
Sure, they've learned his name. Just, honestly, be happy
and
about
I think that's what I need to remember. It's just, again, they're really young kids.
Yeah,
so
they've learned.
It's fine for them to just know. Yeah?
Yes. They've learned
Noah's one of Jehovah's servants. Like,
that was
and
that honestly,
he loved Jehovah.
That'll do.
He loved Jehovah, and that was it.
Honestly, it will shock you. It will shock you, because you say that they don't remember. First of all, they might just know that they're one. It will wind you up. And
to be fair,
Fefe just looks at Ara and is just like, don't say anything. Don't say nothing.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
So here we have Kim, and Kim has a 1-year-old. And she says, when I asked her what her spiritual routine is, she says, I haven't got one yet, if I'm honest. The only thing I do is pray before eating with her child. And I said, that is one. That is definitely one. And then she said, mine is even a 1-sentence prayer. Thank you, Jehovah, for the food. Amen. I said, spot on. Spot on. I feel like as parents, we need to take a general consensus and just decide that our prayers are going to be like this short. Short and sweet. Let's wrap this up. Because I remember when daddies, when daddies,
I didn't even think it's a daddy thing. I think it's a
generational thing.
Yeah.
His prayers. No, you already know when he starts to pray with, back when I was a youth. Jehovah, you were there.
I remember there was one time when we did daily text. So we would do it before bedtime. Daddy would start praying and I'm like, time to brush my teeth. Midway through the prayer.
And you said that out loud.
No. I said just midway through the prayer. I remember this clearly. Midway through the prayer, because it was so long, I got up and I went to the toilet to go brush my teeth.
You actually left. I don't remember this.
I left. And I can't remember if I came back in time for the end.
It's probably one of those prayers where like halfway through you're like, yeah, those were some really good, interesting things. So I think my take home with this is just consistency is key, but don't give up, even though it's not 100% consistent. And even when it's challenging, just start and keep at it. Keep at it. Let's see how we get on with the 1 prayer per meal.
Yeah,
I think that's our next task. That's our task for this week, to try one prayer, 1 meal.
We will report back.
Yes, we'll be reporting back. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.